Oh, you know what I don't have on this computer? I don't have my thing that has the intro written down.
You try and tell me you don't know that shit off the top of your head.
I mean, I could probably do it. We can hope for the best. Hello, welcome to the Fish and Flower podcast. Is there going to be anything before this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, I'm every single time recently. I want to say I'm Fish, but no, I'm Flower, aka Rose. And today's update is that my computer charger officially broke. It's been on the fence. It's officially dead. It's dead, Jim. I spent too much money on a new one. My bank account crying. It's fine. Everything's fine. Which means I'm on the big computer. And big computer has a thing where I can actually use the mic on my headphones. So don't worry. I did check to make sure it works okay. I am contemplating quadrupling checking to be sure it is. It's working great. Thank you very much for knowing. That fun fact. That's it. That's my update. I'm in such a great mood. Can you tell? I've only had one mental breakdown today so far.
The cat is crying so loud. I feel so bad.
I love that for you.
My name is Fish, aka Stingray, or whatever. Apparently, that's the thing. Um, and hopefully, maybe if it goes through, I finally bought a frame for this signed vinyl insert. This is the only signed thing I own, and it's 5 sauce because my mom got it without me knowing. She just got it. She just ordered a bunch of shit when Calm came out, and I was like, okay, sure, bestie. This being one of them. So it's just been sitting in like a cardboard box that that the vinyl came in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it hasn't got damaged. I need to say that this album, I received this 4 years ago. Like 4 years ago. I don't know. 3 to 4 years ago, and I'm just now buying a frame for it. So everybody clapped. Also, I didn't read this half of the book
Yes.
and I DNF'd it because I just couldn't be bothered.
I believe in you. Look at you go.
But I read almost 30% of a different book I was supposed to read last month, so it's okay.
That's so me this month. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know. Yeah, this is
Oh my god,
a
the cat.
um
I'm so bad.
this is a stream of conscious podcast very similar to how we talk to each other on a daily basis. Oh my god, I remembered that. Fuck yeah. Today's episode is part 2. In the book, it's parts 3 through 5, but it's our part 2 of It Came From the Closet. The last one was 2 weeks ago. If you're watching this on YouTube, statistically you probably are. It will be up above in the cards. I do link like similar episodes up above in the cards on YouTube. Like I have a playlist of all the Katie Roberts, so if I'm doing a Katie Roberts, they're all right there for you and all that fun stuff. Usually right there. You just gotta click that little button. And scroll down a little bit. But yeah, that's the thing. We did parts 1 and 2 in the book, which are the first 10 essays. These are parts 3 through 5, so 15 others. I'm gonna try to do them as fast as possible. I don't have energy. It's been like 3 weeks since I finished this book. Stingray's DNF'd, so they can't really give much commentary.
I can give plenty of commentary, don't worry.
I believe in you. And is there anything else? I don't know. These are essays by queer authors talking about their queer experiences. Some of them are very much just their life growing up in life, and sometimes they link to horror I almost said books, movies based off of just general parallels. I say the word parallel a lot in my notes. Some of them are where they first see themselves represented is usually as a villain in a horror movie, and stuff like that. That's what's happening. Content warnings. That's what I need to talk about next. Homophobia, transphobia, violence, child abuse, self-harm, sexual content. And this part is the part that has the pedophilia in it.
Oh, fun.
Yay! Yay! I did individually rate each essay. I gave the whole book itself 4 stars, and there's no way I can give you enough context. I
want to take a nap.
I believe in you. Give you the full aspect of what these essays are. the best way you can understand what's happening and get the full effect is if you read it yourself. I'm just talking about my views on some of these and whatnot. Hilariously, a lot of the first part we talked about the invisibility of bisexuality. That was like one or two very important essays in that section. And yesterday I just watched a video essay with a similar theme, and I went, who knew this about me? Um, but yes, part three of this book is titled Fatal Attractions. So usually there's couples and one of them dies.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, sure.
So the first one is Twin Skin by Addie Sai. Really hope that's how you pronounce the last name. Based off of the movie Dead Ringers, which I have not seen. I do not believe I have read any of these in part, or watched any of these movies in part three. So that's the thing.
Well, I know I haven't watched this, so I don't know what the other ones are about, so I couldn't tell you yet.
Oh, this is the one that was really weird. I fully did not understand what was happening. Basically, the author is a twin. She has an identical twin. And the movie is about twins, and so like a lot of the real life stuff is how they like were super close until they weren't, and how people try to put them in boxes, like which one's the funny one, which one's the smart one, which one's the pretty one. Like literally, it would be boxes of like which one's the pretty one, which one's the smart one, when they're identical twins, and it's just like, hello, and trying to find differences in the two twins, and like
I wanted to make a very bad joke, but I won't refrain.
okay, but like it gets very incesty very fast in this.
Oh.
Like it goes very fast into like this idea that the only person you can fully understand, or only person's body you can fully understand other than your own, is a twin's. And so she starts questioning
What?
if her sexuality and being into woman is because the only other body she knows other than hers is her twins.
Oh.
And the closest relationship she's ever had with someone is like that time in the womb, super close to another woman, so therefore is that why she's into women? There's a whole thing with like the movie, I think one of the twins does something bad, I don't know, and then they both end up dead. It's this whole thing. And in
I will not. So glad I did not read this essay. So glad I will never watch that movie. Also.
Okay. And in the real life story of the author, her twin stole like I don't fully remember how it goes, but like basically took the website domain or something like that to do with her name, so that she could one up in the writing world and whatnot. And so basically, after some time, the author of this story herself went to get that domain, because she was prevalent in the writing world. It makes sense for her to have a domain and whatnot, like a lot of authors do. Usually has to do with their names. To learn that someone already owns it, she goes to look into it, and it ends up being her twin sister trying to steal her likeness and notoriety as her own, so that she can get ahead in the world.
What the hell?
Yep, and that's that one. I'm still so confused by that one.
That's an L on the other twins part for real.
I know, right? So the second one is Leaving Annie Hayworth by Laura Ma. About the movie The Birds. Literally,
I have not seen that.
I literally wrote one sentence about this essay, so let's see what I can get out. No, it's two sentences. Ooh, how wrong I am. The feeling of desire mixed with fear of what could happen parallels her anxiety of desire for her friend. How queer anxiety never leaves because there's no resolution.
Interesting.
Valid, but I don't understand the context for it because it's been so long, so I don't know.
I would like you to know that, yes, my video is labeled as having 2 comments because you commented on it, but it's not labeled as having any views.
That is hilarious. I love it when that happens. If I am pulling this from the depths of my brain. If I remember, this is the movie where there's this woman, like femme fatale type woman, and she's trying to seduce these men to do things for her, but she ends up befriending this other woman who she ends up getting really close with. There's a lot of smoking cigarettes, and very, like, some touches that last a little too long and stuff like that, until one of them ends up dying and whatnot,
Okay.
and it's very sad. And it parallels the author's, like, the whole idea of, like, when you're gay and have a crush on your friend, like, do you do anything about it? Because, like, sometimes they can be like, ew, you're gross, and, like, tell everyone that you did that, and how you, like, put your advances toward them, all this stuff. The thing we all fear, and how that fear never
Yes.
leaves, and stuff like that. I got it. My brain worked. Let's go.
I love it when your brain works.
Me too. I don't know if it's gonna work much longer, but maybe if I drink more gin.
No.
I'm running out of gin. I can't drink more gin. Okay, the third story is The Same Kind of Monster by Jonathan Robinson Leon. About the leech woman. This is the one. This is the first one. So I talked about this in the last episode. There were 2 essays narrated by this one narrator. There's like a lot of narrators, and a lot of them doubled up, right? Makes sense. There's this one that I really hated, and I can't tell. I'm pretty sure I would have actually liked this essay if he wasn't the one who narrated it. And I can't put my finger on why I hate him so much. I think it's because he has like this deep but breathy voice, and his voice just makes me think he's gonna run me down in an alley and stab me, right? Or he plays
Okay.
no, or he plays football and dates, like he's the quarterback and he dates the top cheerleader, which also makes me think he's gonna run me down in the alley and stab me. So.
Are you okay, Misty? Do you need to come over?
I mean, obviously, I'm not doing great, but that's beside the point. This is all going great. So I really hated his voice. And so the second one that he narrates, I don't think it was his voice really that made me hate it so much. I think these are like the only 2 that I rated 2 stars. By the way. So that one, which is in the last part, is one I'm not a fan of for other reasons as well, which I will talk about. This one, I think I could have enjoyed it if it was a different narrator, but that's fine. It's 2 stars. The heron. Okay, so in The Leech Woman, there's like this whole thing where there's a like pool of water, whatnot, and a woman can become infinitely beautiful and younger if she does a male sacrifice, right? And whatnot. So there's this guy who
That reminded me of H2O, because you're like, there's a pool of water, and then they do this thing, and I'm just like, more intense H2O.
Bestie.
But they don't become mermaids.
I know, real sad. She is basically manipulated by this guy who's like a little bit younger than her, and he's a scientist who has heard of this phenomenon and wants to learn it. And so he is basically bringing her to make her do the sacrifice thing, not knowing that's a human sacrifice that's needed. And so he's all like, I want to see it's done. And so he basically seduces her and brings this older woman so that he can see it happen and learn about it and whatnot. And she learns this, and so straight up murders him to become young. Valid.
Yeah.
Valid. I
wouldn't arrest her. I would leave her be.
Jonathan resonates with this sacrifice. Who like young him. I'm trying to word this properly. So young Jonathan resonates with that aspect because of his praying during his burgeoning queerness, quote quote me, to be changed into a girl so he could no longer be disgusted by his own desires. Right? She kills men to become a young woman. He prays to become a young woman so that he's no longer a monster.
I feel like this happens to a lot of people.
Yeah. Apparently, what's also a monster? Older woman. Like, in my head, she's like 40, 50 years old. She's not that old, but like, you know. So he fears of being seen for who he really is, like the character in the movie fears for being seen as an old murderess, because there's also a thing where, like, eventually, like, the magic runs out, so you just gotta continue to do it, so she's just killing men over and over and over again.
I think it's worth it.
He makes a point that all gays are disgusting degenerates, but young gays are fully accepting of themselves and would never understand the need to lower themselves to feel anything, which I'm not really into that. idea. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of young gays nowadays who, in the beginning, also are disgusted by themselves. It's called The Way Society Makes Us Look at Ourselves. The end.
I feel like there's no age to being disgusted by yourself, whether you're gay or not.
Yeah, that also. Yeah, no, it very much gave the energy of, hey, you never had to go through this shit. I had to go through, which valid. Yes. As a young gay man, so you can't understand this, so therefore you do not have the same trauma about your gayness, and so therefore you're good, and every gay person nowadays is healthy. Meanwhile, do you know how many...
So blink.
Do you know how many queer teenagers are living on the streets because they're kicked out of their homes? Like, I'm pretty sure it's still not a healthy environment, let's be real. Like...
The fact... Does this man happen to be white, too?
I don't know.
Imagine thinking you, as a gay man, have it worse than any other queer identity. Be so serious. When trans people exist, be so serious.
I know, right? Yeah, he's white.
That makes it worse!
Wait, no, I need to send you a picture of this man, because you just picture any white guy. Yes.
Imagine thinking that, oh my god! Imagine thinking you, as a white gay man, have it worse than, say, a trans person. Especially a trans person of color.
Yeah. Like, I get that you went through some shit, but that doesn't mean people nowadays don't go through shit. It's just the different shit, and you just think your shit's worse than everyone else's. Which is not... Everyone goes through shit.
The picture is so blurry, too. I love it here.
Listen, it's just the smallest photo. I don't know. Don't ask me. Anyways, I rate that one 2 stars.
Good.
The next one is centered and seen by... Okay, I'm pretty sure this is an Asian author, so Sumiko Solson. No, wait, it's not. It's a black author. I remember this. I suddenly remember this. All of a sudden. The way it's coming back to me. About Candyman, I have not seen the original, but I have seen... Is it like a remake or something like that? Which I rated 4 stars.
From a few years ago.
So, about how the author went to a viewing with a queer community post-pandemic, but recognized that everyone else there was white. He was, like, the only black one there. And so and since it's, like, based off of black experience and whatnot, and black pain, but then also it happens to follow a white woman and all this stuff, and how he was the only one who was able to recognize this because he's the only black one in the audience, and be like, hello? And whatnot. And also how the two communities intersect, and the struggles of being a black man, but also a black queer man, and whatnot. And all those fun times. Actually, I think they use they, them pronouns, so black, queer, non-binary person. But yeah, it was very impactful story, basically, about how a lot of times black stories, especially black stories that are very sad, are kind of used by white people in this instance for money, and sometimes for notoriety and stuff like that, and how, like, yes, the story's important, but, like, how, like, the story, like, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the story of Candyman is told through this white woman's point of view, therefore making it so that white people can watch it and be all like, oh, I see myself in this movie. And the way that's just like, bitch, please. Yeah. That was the point of that one. I liked it 4 stars.
One, you don't have to see yourself in a piece of media to enjoy it, and secondly, you can see yourself in a piece of media and enjoy it, even if that person isn't exactly like you.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk the thought?
Not a lot of white people, let's be real.
Yeah.
You can't tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm right. I say as we're both white people.
I mean, at least we're somewhat self-aware, right?
Gotta give us some credit, please. Anyways, the last one of this section is Blood Actually by Grant Sutton, which is about Friday the 13th, Part 2. I do know what happens in this movie. I haven't seen it, but, like, I know what happens. Right? I think we all
I
do.
might have seen it. It's one of those.
It's one of those that, like, it's so classic. Everyone knows what happens, even if you haven't watched it type thing.
Like, I've definitely seen the first one.
Yeah.
Whether I've seen all the other ones,
Debatable. Okay, so this one, is about how in the movie, teenager sexuality leads to their death, parallels the AIDS pandemic when
LOL.
he's a teenager. Thank you for the commentary in the background. So, despite his, wish to be a final girl, the hatred towards him has made him adjacent in the way he protects himself by hurting others. A lot of this one is about him going on dates, as an out gay man, and yet being in fear of, just being in public, holding hands with another man, what could happen? Because people be crazy. And they go out on this date, like, to a lake or something, and he keeps on panicking that someone's gonna come out of the woods and, like, kill them.
oh my god.
Yeah. And then after...
No, like, I get it. I'd be the exact same
Yeah.
way.
And then after the date's over or whatnot, and I think, like, he's being dropped off or something, his date's like, oh yeah, no, that actually did happen, like, 2 weeks ago.
Hello?
And, just how our fears are completely valid, and, how to protect ourselves a lot of the time we become the monster in the story, that they want to make us, because that's what you gotta do sometimes,
Sure.
It's very sad at points. I liked it 4 stars. Can you tell I stopped writing, like, a whole entire, like, half a page
Yes.
notes per essay at this point?
It's okay, Bessie. I don't blame you. I didn't even finish the damn book.
I know. All by myself. Okay, part 4 is about nightmares and sleep and the past. I don't know. There was, like, a lot of themes. As soon as you hear nightmares, you assume the first one's gonna be Elm Street, right? Yeah, like, Nightmare on Elm Street. We all know this. But, like, there's, like, 1 or 2 others that have, like, nightmares or sleep in that aspect, but, like, the other ones don't really, and I don't really understand what they have to do in this section. In my mind, this section is just the miscellaneous.
Okay.
So of course the first one's, about Nightmare on Elm Street. I have not seen it, but I know what it is.
You haven't seen it?
No, shut up.
Girl.
Which is The Trail of His Flames by Tucker Lieberman. So
I should probably stop scrolling through Instagram if we have to record 2 episodes.
yeah, Bestie, you gotta be alive for the second one, especially since it's been like a week. I don't know the plot.
It's been even longer since I've read it. What the fuck are you talking about?
You gotta help me out here, Bestie.
I just know it's actually kind of depressing and kind of
Yeah.
gay if you think about it.
Same. I had the same thought.
It's almost like gay people view things through a gay lens.
So the author starts taking pills, sleeping pills, and they start causing hallucinations.
LOL.
Yep.
I don't have to take sleeping pills to get those.
Oh my god. I only take sleeping pills to lose weight. Do we all remember the funny story of when my doctor, when I was a preteen, prescribed me dieting pills for my insomnia? Doctors, am I right?
For the doctors that were always so worried about how gigantic, their fucking words basically I was, that they never gave me a diet pill, that's crazy. That's a joke, it's fun. It's okay, you can laugh.
Ha ha ha. I'd like to remind you at this exact moment that you love me.
I do, don't worry.
Oh, okay, thank God I do have a photo of me wearing this exact shirt I wore in my wrap-up. Hell yeah. The perk of wearing my same 5 shirts over and over again. I could just keep on using the same photo for my thumbnails. Am I right, fam? Anyways, so he has some hallucinations of a past where he had a friend who he is really close with, like the closest friend he has, or had, who went through a mental break, and he didn't know what to do about it, so he went on vacation that he had already planned. When the brother of that friend called him up, was like, "Hey, I'm actually like really, really worried about him." So he rushes home to find this guy at his house. He was like staying at his place or something. Um, and he doesn't know what to do, so he ends up getting him admitted because he doesn't know how to handle the situation himself. Valid. I get why the other person felt betrayed, but I also get the idea of like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have no ability in
As
this.
someone who was omitted because of someone else's decisions, that someone else's happened to be a friend who called the police on me.
Yeah, similar thing happened
It's
to me.
fucking terrible. It's so fucking traumatizing
Yeah.
too. So like, if someone did that to me now, I would no longer be friends with them.
Okay, I'll keep that in memory. But yeah, no, it's very much of him.
No, it's so fucking traumatizing because the ambulance has to come, the police have to come.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
you
no.
have to go to the hospital, and then you have to. I was taken via police car to the fucking hospital.
It's very much of him.
I didn't have any shoes. I didn't have nothing. Okay, listen, it was terrible.
It's very much like him not knowing what else he could have done, but also recognizing that maybe he should have tried more. And also recognizing, yes, that's why this friend is not friends with me anymore, and I get it. I'm sad about it. I wish we could be friends, but like I get it. It's a thing that happened. But that whole thing parallels the heroine in Nightmare on Elm Street, taking waking pills to stay awake, so as not to dream the monster, post her friend being murdered, whose boyfriend is the lead killer, and everyone else close to her is clueless. Also, there's a lot about how people are clueless about what's going on in other people's lives and stuff like that. It was okay, liked it, 3 stars. Um, this is one of the ones where I'm like, I don't understand how this fits into this theme. The Me in the Screen by Stephen Triplet. About the movie Us. What does the movie Us have to do with nightmares and dreams? I've seen this one. What does it have to do with nightmares and dreams?
I only got to see half of it because I was with my step siblings and my sister got too scared, so I turned it off. Mind you, if you don't know, my sister is 7.
Why are you watching horror movies with a 7-year-old?
She's already seen a bunch of them, and at the moment she said it was too scary, I made them turn it off. They didn't want to turn it off, I made them turn it off.
Okay.
Granted, that I don't think that part was actually scary, but it scared her, so I was like, turn it off before I get you!
The idea of 2 versions of the same person in Us is paralyzed by the author's different versions of himself, especially when he went abroad. And when he went abroad, he decided to live his out and free queer life that he always
Actually,
dreamed
from
of.
the quarter to half of the movie I saw was very good.
Okay. He decides to live this out and free life, and he has a good time. He loves it, and then he comes back, and he is slightly different. But like he's basically the same person as he was beforehand, and so like there's 2 different versions of him. And when he's abroad, the quote unquote normal version of himself when he's back in his home country, back in his home around his normal people, the normal version of himself is stuffing down his gayness underground, like in Us. That's the parallel. And whatnot. Basically, a whole thing about like masking your gayness and whatnot is what I got from it.
Why was my first thought LOL?
There was something else I read that I don't, was it a movie? I don't know. There was something I did where I was like, this is so masking coded, and I was like the only one who got that. I was like, how am I the only one who like make brain compute like? Okay, the third one is Sight Unseen by Spencer Williams about the Blair Witch Project. I have not seen it, but I know what it is.
You haven't seen the Blair Witch Project?
I knew that was coming. No.
Catch me Blair Witching in the corner, okay?
Okay. I know what it is.
The fact you've never seen it, even I've seen it, okay? Like,
Okay. I haven't seen a lot of things, let's be real.
I feel like we've both watched a weird amount of movies. Like, some of
Yeah.
them we haven't seen, you know?
Yeah. Do you want me to, like, go into a whole tangent about Marvel movies?
No. Man, I want French toast.
That sounds good. I don't have good bread for French toast.
Imagine not using sandwich bread for French toast. Sometimes I forget that you were upper middle class.
Yeah, at one point, yes, once upon a time. No, it's because like
I've never been there.
we have like Wonder Bread right now, which I don't like the texture of that soggy.
It's too chewy.
Yeah, I don't like it for French toast. Um, if anything,
Yeah,
I'll
I
make
don't like
French
white bread
bread
anymore.
by hand, and then I'll use.
We get wheat bread.
So Blair Witch Project. So the author resonates with the witch herself in the ways of her being present but never seen. And also that's the whole entire point. That's like a one sentence can cover it because like 98% of this essay is about her love for found footage films and why she loves them so much. The end.
They're very good.
I don't think I've seen many of them that I really enjoy.
I think they're interesting and fun because it's a different dynamic than a usual movie.
You know what? The other night I was questioning what are my chances of me getting to watch Thor Ragnarok?
What?
Thor Ragnarok. What are the chances I can get you to watch that?
No.
Why not? It's so funny.
0.
You don't.
Negative 20.
And then there was like another thing I was thinking about, and I was like, my brain no compute. Oh, you know what it was? It was me reading, trying to read the label on my computer treasure to buy a new one, and I had to get the sister to come in and do it for me to figure out which charger to get, and whatnot. And
I hate you.
in my brain, I was like, it's like trying.
You know what I just got?
What?
A fucking Marvel ad. Kill yourself.
Thank you. But I was like, it's like I would have a better chance of being able to understand the symbols for them opening up the Stargate in Stargate. That was my first thought. And then my brain went in you voice going, you're such a nerd. So, thank you for that. How dare you?
I mean, you are a nerd, so...
True. Okay, that one I rated 3 stars. The next one is Bad Hombre by Sarah Fonseca. About Is That You? I've not seen it. It is, I believe this is is it Cuban movie? No, definitely not American or West movie. So, that's why I haven't seen it. And whatnot. But it's a film, about domestic abuse, basically. The dad abuses the mom, and then treats the daughter well, and, like, try to think to, like, keep her there and whatnot. And then eventually, the mother's secret lover, kills the dad, and, the daughter finds out, gets really angry, kills the boyfriend, and starts torturing the mother in the same way that the dad did, becoming one with him, like putting on his hat, and like, yeah, shaving her head to become him and whatnot. So yeah, that whole aspect parallels her own father's abuses against her mother, and her dreams of stopping him one day, and there is a whole question about, in this movie, about how, if the daughter is trans, being as, like, she views herself as her father at the end, is that a trans representation, all this stuff. 98% of this one is about commentary about the country's cultural aspect in this movie and the importance of it, and how it doesn't resonate with American audiences because of that, or in the same way, and the importance of it to natural original audiences from the original country that it was made for, and stuff like that. And then a little bit of, like, the domestic abuse and the paralleling in there. But it was still very interesting learning about this movie and the importance of it to the intended audience and whatnot. Hey, baby! There's a puppy next to me.
Can I see?
No, because this computer doesn't have a webcam, so you can't fucking see anything.
I'm so sad. I thought I was gonna see a puppy.
Maybe if I get out my phone and turn on my camera and take a photo of her, and then send her to you. That is a blurry photo. It was not blurry on my computer of that man. Phone, that was very clearly a picture of the dogs. Why was that a black screen?
highly compatible today. Rose Lillian. You
Love
and
it.
Rose Lillian are a decrepit barn where cicadas scream in the
I've got that one
rafters,
again.
filling the air with their dissonant song.
We
Yeah,
I
that one again.
I get down so much. Anyways, that's my puppy's next to me.
Two puppies!
Mhm.
Two of them! I think they both need kisses on their heads.
True. But
Everybody's
they're too
jealous
far
they
away.
can't see the bubbies.
True. I would like to know. Co-star is telling me to do a good book today. And also it says that us as shop owners, I specialize in selling rare fruit, and you own a vintage clothing store. That makes sense to me in my brain. I don't know why. Um, and we're trying to figure out how to collaborate. How are we going to combine strange fruit, rare fruit, and vintage clothing, Bestie? How would we do that? Put the rare fruit on the dress is obviously the end.
Yeah, like, put the fruit and, like, preserve the fruit in, like, resin or something and add it to the clothing. Bada bing, bada boom.
The end.
That's what
Um,
being gay does to you.
it makes me go bada bing, bada boom.
You know, it makes you put fruit on everything.
True, so valid. So,
Think about it. The earrings, the clothes, funky earrings, funky clothes. That's what being gay does to you.
so the last one in part 4, this one is one that I get the whole nightmare/sleep aspect. Is Black Body Snatchers by Samuel Ottman about Get Out, which I have seen.
I've also seen Get Out.
I
It
haven't
was
seen
very
Nope
good.
yet. I haven't seen Nope
I
yet.
also have not seen Nope.
So the author lived in Utah. I think he's tall. What are you barking at? There's nothing out there except wind. You monster.
It's me. They're barking at me.
Thank you. So I think he's like tall. But he is a black man. Who after college went and lived in Utah as a journalist in a very white state in general, but city or town. But on top of that, it is a very Mormon town.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Oh my god, is there actually someone outside? I heard a door. Oh, you know what it is? It's my mom's boyfriend just came home. That's fine. I'll just cut out him.
I'm so proud of my friend. They got a job and they're doing all the things. And I'm so proud of them.
Oh, I could dream a dream.
Like I've known them for like over 5 years at this point, so it's like I'm not crying.
I love that for you. But anyways, as a black man in this very white Mormon town, there's a lot of microaggressions. The first instance that he brings up is so he does an interview. It's like one of the first things he does, for this paper, on the mayor's, I think it's the mayor's son, who is looking to go into politics himself. And the mayor comes and like picks him up in a car and puts him in this car with a bunch of security people with guns. Like he notices the guns and he's like, and he's alone with all these white people and he's like, and his mayor's all like, please don't take down my son. And he's like, I'm not planning to. It's supposed to be just this nice little piece. And he's like, don't take down my son. Don't destroy my family. And he's like, I wasn't planning to. In fact, it's gonna be so nice. You're gonna call me up and thank me. And eventually, like after like a pretty long time, he gets the mayor to agree to like let him go and agree that like it's just gonna be a nice piece. It's not gonna be a hit piece or anything. And then afterwards, the mayor does call up. He's like, "Oh, thank you for doing such a nice piece." And how people just assume he's gonna be an aggressor because he's a big black man. Yay! So
Ew.
yep. It's very you can get where the parallels to Get Out are.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey everybody, how about try being normal for once in your life? I don't know.
So he compares the body snatching family to Mormonism, but also there's like this one specific instance where shortly before, there's also like a lot of things where he'll just go to a restaurant and start eating food and like cops will show up and start questioning him. And like one time, like he lived in this town for like years. And like people, like owners or waitresses would just call the police and be like, "He's in here," and so then the cops would come and question him, and he's just a random guy trying to eat food. The end. and how he just
Imagine trying to eat lunch. Like, wow.
I know, right? But there's this one instance with the
Imagine
Mormonism.
not wanting to starve.
Yeah, no. There's one instance with Mormonism in particular. There's this whole aspect in Mormonism where being black, bad idea.
Honestly, being a Mormon is an L.
True. But basically there's this whole aspect where black people are the devil and all this stuff. You know. Good time.
Everything
Good
I
Mormon
learned
times.
about Mormonism is against my will.
I know, I love this for you. Hi Bobby. So there's this one
I wish I
specific
had a puppy.
there's this one specific instance where these two Mormon ladies come up to try to convert him to Mormonism, and they start like quoting all the stuff that they have on these pamphlets
You
and
know,
whatnot.
I'm sorry. If a Mormon came up to me and tried to do something like that to me, I would start like convulsing and just speaking weirdly, and then like scream up there and see what happens.
There's only like one religious group / person who like does that type of stuff near here, and I know him pretty well because he used to drive my school bus. Like I know him really well. So every time he comes, he like leaves a pamphlet, but most of it is just him going like, "Hey, how's it going? How's life? How's your sister? I'm sorry I keep on missing your mom. I want to see her again. It's been a long time. Like they used to work together and stuff. So like he's like a nice guy. So it's literally just him being like, "Hey, catching up for 5 minutes," and then him leaving. And leaving a pamphlet that I go, "Cool, thanks," and then give it to my grandmother.
See, I feel like that's valid. That's okay.
Yes,
'Cause he's
I
not
don't like
being,
it when
like,
they come and try to
gross.
force you into their, and try to push you, like these ladies did to him, where they start quoting all this stuff to him, and he goes, yes, and then starts quoting their own scripture to them about the views on black people and whatnot, and they're like, yes, which is why you should join. And he's like, why would I join when I am the devil, and therefore, what is the point of me joining, because if I'm already the devil, but also, why would I join if I would just be discriminated against even more constantly because of the color of my skin, a thing that I cannot change, and it stumps them so much that they just run away.
LOL.
But basically the moral of this one
Like,
is,
imagine being so confronted with the truth that you have to run away. Like,
I
I
know,
just imagine the emoji for real.
eventually he does get out of that town and whatnot, but basically the whole point of it
So
is
proud, so glad.
the paralleling of the body snatching and whatnot of the family in Get Out is paralleling religion in general, but specifically Mormonism against anyone of another identity.
I know they're not exactly the same, but is this the point where I should mention I was friends with someone who is a Jehovah's Witness?
Bessie,
Yeah.
sometimes I question your sanity.
Yeah, her parents are terrible. And it was, the lore runs deep there, don't worry.
Okay. That one I rated 4 stars, and now we're on to part 5, which are slashers / movies that feature knives.
Fun.
This is the last part, and also the last one is my favorite, my second favorite one. The other gay, the one that's very bi and very sad, I think it is that the one? Is, I don't know, there's a lot that's like very sad. One of the other ones is very good, and I loved it very much, and rated 5 stars. But those are the two that rated 5 stars. Also, this was the one that has the other 2-star one, but this one I believe is not fully because of who the narrator is. The first one is Long Nights in the Dark by Richard Scott Larson, about the movie Halloween. I have seen it.
Yes.
I've
Thank
seen
God.
all of them. You think I wouldn't watch Laurie Strode? Are you kidding me? And the newer ones, when she's straight up shooting him, point
I
blank.
haven't seen the newer ones.
I have.
One.
She locks him in a basement and then burns the whole entire building down. Which, iconic.
I love arsonists.
Iconic. I love the old woman. The end.
Hey, did you know I love arsonists?
Yes.
I have a list of my favorite arsonists. You want to hear them?
No, we already have a 5-hour-long episode about the Wicker King.
Wow, I can't believe you don't want me to list my favorite arsonists.
So
mean and rude.
this essay compares Michael watching these suburban families living their lives before he kills them to his watching other boys in the locker room and whatnot. And he recognizes Jason's need to hide in the open, his monstrous ways to like trying to hide, but also like
You know,
not hide the gate. You know what I'm trying to say.
I kind of love him because he really just be walking.
He literally
really
just
be there.
walks. He literally just walks. They will be running away.
He
and
literally just stands there like the little emojis, and he just walk.
he just
He
saunters.
just here.
Just saunters.
He don't. He like it's gonna happen either way.
I
Yeah,
might as well take my time, and I love him. He's
I
so
think that
real.
may also be a
I would
point.
pat him on his head before he killed me, for real.
That actually may
I
actually
would
be a
tell him I
point.
loved him before you.
That may be an actual point in this essay about how he just walks, and no matter what, he's gonna catch up to you and stuff like that. I liked it 3.5 stars. I didn't go into much on my notes, so I don't really remember much. The end. Um, the next one is On Beauty and Necrosis by. Oh, is this the Asian one? I think so. Sachiko Roses Ragusoda. I tried my hardest. I'm so sorry. About Eyes Without a Face. I haven't seen it. Um,
Neither have I.
so the heroine of the film is forced to wear a mask by her father, and the author relates it to queer people, basically wearing masks, masking to hide, especially in adolescence. The father,
Also, I feel like that, with the idea that a lot of queer people are neurodivergent and having to mask that as well, is another layer to this.
yeah, um, the father's forcing of his masking to make his daughter reach his idea of beauty. The whole entire plot, basically, of this movie is that he constantly keeps on doing these surgeries on his daughter, killing people and like doing face transplants on her to try to make her the most beautiful woman he can make her. But before this all started, she was like a perfectly attractive woman who had like a fiance and a life, and he basically just keeps her locked up, and keeps on like causing horrible scars on her and whatnot to try to make her more beautiful, and it never works because it's his idea of beauty, not hers.
Because men are losers.
Yeah, but so basically, the whole entire forcing her to be his idea of beauty is removing her humanity, paralleling transgenderism, and how society considers this identity as enough to no longer consider their humanity. But the thing they need to fix because it's not what they imagined, especially by trans people's own parents, and whatnot. Yeah, that's the whole entire point of that one. Which I can see. Yeah, I can definitely see that one, how the whole changing of what you view a person, and whatnot aspect is going on here. But it's much better done in the essay to the point where I rated it 4 stars, okay? Let's just say I'm dumbass and I can't speak words properly.
I believe in you.
Thank you. You ready for the one that I rated 2 stars and I'm gonna go into depth?
Yes.
This is Good Guys, Dolls by Will Stockton about Child's Play, which I have seen. I've seen all the movies, and I've seen season 1 of the show. I've not got past season 1. I should continue. But I've seen it all. Hear me out. There are so many different ways they could have gone with this essay. And I'm just going to tell you what this essay is about, and then I'm going to explain to you all the ways they could have gone with the essay. Of course, this is the one that is also narrated by that guy who did the Leech Woman, whose voice I really hated. Yay. Compares his adopted son, Psyche, with that of Andy, the main character in the first one, after he... Actually, I think the first 3. After he buys a Chucky doll without having seen the movies himself. That's literally all it is. He's just comparing the psyche between these two different because after movie 1, Andy is in the not adoption but the other one. You know what I'm talking about, right?
What?
when you're not adopted but the other one, when it's when you're put with families but it's not adopted. Fostering, there we go. He's a foster kid and whatnot, and he is after the first
Like,
movie.
I heard what you said, I just didn't compute in my brain.
Yeah, after the first movie, he is foster kid. People are being very loud in the background, and I'm trying to ignore it. And how his own son was in the foster home for a bit before he adopted him and whatnot. That's the only interconnection. That's it. He keeps on comparing, like, his son's, kind of violent outbursts to Andy, but I'm like, no, Andy's literally being attacked by a murderous doll that's gaslighting him. I don't connect the dots. Connect the dots, because this man didn't do it in a way that made sense to me. Basically, I wish, this was more about the actual queerness. Also, there's, like, no queerness. The only queer aspect of this is that they adopt a son because he's a gay man, with a husband. That is why. The end, no, I wish there was more about queerness in the film, and there actually being a queer character accepted by their parents, even if their parents are murderous dolls, and how the gay character, creator, like the creator of Chucky series, universe, everything, is gay, and he puts a lot of his queer experiences and whatnot in the series. Like, there's open gay teenagers in the TV show, and a lot of it with like abusive dad and stuff like that is a lot of what he experienced himself as a gay child and whatnot. Oh my god, my voice is dying. And then also there's the aspect of I can't remember who. Seed of Chucky. Glenn/Glenda. That's the child's name. The child. No, not me dropping my journal. The child of Chucky and Tiffany, or Tiff, or whatever, is trans or non-binary or gender fluid. That's the proper term, probably. Is gender fluid. Has no actual anatomically correct body parts, unlike Tiff and Chucky and whatnot, and switches personalities based off of or gender identity based off of which parent the child is usually with and whatnot. The way this movie's on Tubi right now, I should watch it. I do not need to watch Chucky.
We should watch it together.
I do not need to watch Chucky right now.
Why not?
But basically, the fact that there's literal gay characters in these movies. It has good queer representation. It is created by a queer person. And none of it is about that. It pisses me off so much. Yeah. So, you know, that's why I really don't like it.
The fact that Chucky is so gay, yet it did so well, chef kiss.
I know, right? Also the way that, like, Chucky is 100% accepting of his child's, gay identity, and so is Tiff. Like, Glenn
because they're not stupid. They may be murderers, but they're not stupid.
Yes. There's like Glenn is mentioned multiple times by both Tiff and Chucky in the first season of the show, where he learns that the kid who now owns Chucky is gay, and he goes, "I have a queer kid. I don't care because I'm not a dingbat. I just murder people."
See,
he may stab
same
people.
wavelength.
He may stab people, but, like, he doesn't care about your gender or sexuality and whatnot.
He just wants to stab you.
Yeah, which is so valid sometimes. The way I'm siding with Chucky. Yeah.
You know, I'm also siding with Chucky here. Like, what the hell? Like, go off, I guess. Like, I don't know why Chucky kills, but, like, honestly, I might support it, too. What?
He was a serial killer before he died and then put his soul into a doll.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's been a while.
And then I'm pretty sure in the first season, Tiff has a bomb, and she says that her lovely child, Glenda, because usually when Glenn is around, Tiff is when Glenn is more Glenda-esque, and so she's like, "My child, Glenda, beautiful, lovely child, made this for me," and all this stuff. It's very sweet. How they are murderous people who are still very loving for their child that they created with doll sex. There's a doll sex scene. Did I ever tell you there's a doll sex scene in Chucky?
I think I knew that.
Anyways, the fourth essay is The Healed Body by Jude Ellison S. Doyle, about the movie In My Skin.
The real question is, I don't know, I've never seen that movie, but what's in their skin? That's the question.
I think this is the one where the woman eats her own leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
This is the one we need to watch. Along with Grace. It's like one where she starts, like she accidentally cuts herself on something, walking home or something, or after work. I don't remember. But like it makes her feel something, and so then she slowly starts upping the self-harm. And it's literally the whole entire plot. The point of it is you basically just watching this woman slowly just doing more horrendous things to her own body to feel something, and the uncomfortability that you feel to the point where she eats her own fucking leg in one scene.
You know, this is so me-coded. I really should watch it.
It's also so Hannibal-coded, because that happens in Hannibal.
No, I should preface not the cannibalism, the rest of it.
So the author,
Listen, the more I think about it, the more concerning I always thought about things. Because how many things have I read and enjoyed that have had cannibalism. My favorite song is called Roar. It
True.
and then the person I am, it's I don't want to consume people.
I believe in you. So the author's pregnancy in their 30s helped them recognize their own body dysmorphia, which is a thing I've heard from many non-binary or trans people. I've heard it from multiple of them. Like about how the process of being pregnant helped them realize how wrong they feel in their skin, which makes sense because your body goes through shit down during that process. And so
Respectfully, I'm jealous of people who don't realize these things and aren't hyper aware of their body until they're older. Because I've always been hyper aware of everything that has to do with my body.
But the fact that like you have to pay attention to your body in that time frame so much makes them recognize this about themselves. I've heard about that. But so the feeling of body dysmorphia for decades led to the author loving body horror, hence loving this movie. Um,
Valid.
they have recognized transphobic terms is how the heroine.
That could be why I like body horror.
That's a possibility. Transphobic terms are connected with how the heroine of the film views herself, and whatnot. And yeah, it's basically not really comparing, but paralleling body horror and transphobia and the trans experience and gender identity and whatnot. It was really well written, 4.5 stars.
I feel like I might go back and read that one though.
That's why I was thinking that like us recording this would be a good idea because then you can just know which ones you like, and then read those ones and then move on with your
Yeah,
life.
that's the only one so far that I feel like I should go back and read.
Well, next up is Notes on Sleepaway Camp by Fayettine, about Sleepaway Camp, which I have seen. This is the second most excited, like one I was most excited for. The first one being the one on Chucky. We all know how disappointed I was.
Did this one go better?
That's Instagram. That's H. That's a fish. Did you see
Yes.
that picture of a fish on the computer?
No. No, what?
Because it's your icon, but you're a fish. But it's actually Wicker King for your icon.
Yeah, that's Jack. Thank you.
I was making a joke about Jack being a fish because you're a fish and your icon's Jack.
Yeah, he's a fish, I guess.
Anyway.
I mean, the first thing he does express seeing is jellyfish, so.
True, so valid. Yeah, this is the one that I was second most excited for. I did bring up to you last time we recorded It Came From the Closet about how,
Did I ever mention that I am, in fact, in the closet for this one?
no, you did not, but that's hilarious. About what happens in Sleepaway Camp. It's the one where the killer is this girl. You think the whole time it's her cousin. But like it turns out in the accident that killed the sibling, the boy actually survived, and was forced to go through the process of basically becoming the daughter, because the aunt who took her in always wanted a daughter, so it forces her into this personality of Angela. And then at the end, like the last shot, is Angela screaming with the head of the boy she just killed in her lap, standing up, and then you just see Dong. You just see Dong. It's the one that has the hair dryer of the vagina kill, or not hair dryer, hair straightener, curler thing. Oh wait,
I still need to know the logistics of this, okay? Like I.
Gotta watch the movie. So this one is numbered list, right? On notes on Sleepaway Camp and its importance with the author's own experiences as a gay teen at camp. The idea that the first film.
If I had to go to camp as a teenager, that would have been so traumatic. Anyway.
I love that for you. Especially since I went to a very gendered camp. There was like boys' week and girls' week. Cool.
I've never been to any type of camp thing.
I did. I went for free my first year because I wrote a thing. You could they had a writing contest and whoever won got to go for free. Guess who won? It was me. You wanna know how I wrote it? I copied things from their website. I did that thing that every person in high school does when they are like not supposed to not procrastinate. Well, not that either, but where they steal the info and whatnot, so they change like 3 words in a sentence. Yeah, that's what I did from their website. And I won. So this is mostly about the first movie, by the way, not the second or third one. The idea that the first film focuses on male nudity more than female nudity, which is where gives it a gay male gaze, not the normal male gaze. Good times.
LOL.
The killer is the champion of bullying and homophobia. The one we root for. You actually like root for the killer. And you don't know that the killer's the killer until the end, but like still you root for the killer. And uh,
I don't know. Half the time I root for the killer, anyways.
I
Even
know,
when I
right?
know the.
Uh,
Like some of these bitches deserve to be murdered, and that's why they're murdered. What the hell?
and then the beginning. So there's this whole aspect where Angela slash I don't remember the brother's name. But Angela's father was in a gay relationship. It's heavily hinted at. Like there's this back scene where Angela remembers seeing the father in bed with his boyfriend and whatnot. And so that's who's at the lake with the whole family and whatnot the day that the accident happens and all this stuff. And it's like this whole thing where the gay lover and partner and whatnot who helped in the raising of the kids, like lived in the house, can't legally have the kids, so it goes to this crazy aunt who literally mentally abuses this child to make this child a woman into her idea version of a child that she wants and whatnot. And so, but the beginning aspect before this whole accident features a gay couple, and it's a happy familial scene, like it's a happy family and all this stuff. And basically, the whole the essay is about how people very heavily focus on the ending scene clip thing as very problematic, which like valid, yeah, but also like they forget all the good stuff in there. Not just like movie wise, but also like good representation, whether it be accident or on purpose, and whatnot. And yeah, that's that one. I rated it 5 stars. It's well done.
Fun.
And that's it. That's the book. We did it.
Yay.
I'm ready to go to bed. You want to take a nap? You can go take a nap. Do you have anything else to say about this book that you didn't finish?
No.
Thank you. That's where I'm ending it.